attention. And I don't think it's all bad as long as we recognize it. As long as we recognize it, there's always going to be something that's kind of keeping us bound. So Luke chapter 14, it starts out and Jesus shows up on the Sabbath, and he kind of broke rank here. He broke with tradition, and what he does is he heals someone on the Sabbath. And we see that in the first few verses. And it talked about, said, and he even asked us, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath? But in verse 4 it says, but they kept silent. And then he took him and he healed him and he let him go. And he answered them saying, which of you having a donkey or an ox that's fallen into a pit will not immediately pull him out on the Sabbath day? And they could not answer him regarding these things. As I read that, what I'm thinking even now is that they were having a problem of finding out what it meant to be in the middle of the road. In other words, to hold it in tension. Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath? Now, some of you have been here for a minute. Some of you were here, and we've seen people healed on a Sunday, on our Sabbath. We've seen the dead raised to life on a Sabbath. Was it lawful? I mean, it's interesting when we look at this and we find out what is the law all about. Well, I liken it to what the law is. You know, there's a reason that when you come, you know, when you're merging onto a highway, you see signs telling you, and the signs for people that are coming, they're a sign letting people know that you're going to merge on because you need to keep your distance, keep it under control, find your spot. Wait, find your lane. And then what do? Stay in your lane. Amen? So they were having trouble staying in their lane because Jesus shows up and he heals on a Sabbath. And to them, that's not to be done. But they didn't answer. They kept their silence. Amen? And he asked them, well, what would you do? What would you do if your donkey had fallen into a pit? What would you do if your oxen had fallen into a pit? Would you not immediately go and pull him out? And they couldn't give an answer. And I think that's what some of us, we wrestle with ourselves. We're not really sure how to answer. I'll go to what I said earlier, and it's okay because that's actually part of what my purpose is. You're going to have people come to you and ask you questions you may not have answers to. And you might, the first thing that might come to your mind, and I appreciate the vote of confidence, is you know what? Maybe you should talk to pastor. Or am I right? Or, you know, okay. Well, let's have a discussion.